In the previous video, we had seen how to convert numerical column cylinder to the categorical. We have converted cylinder column to a factor. So in this particular section, in this particular video, we will basically see how we can perform the categorical analysis. We have already the categorical variable. The variable name is CYL. So here step 4, perform categorical analysis. Performing a categorical analysis. So basically what we do in categorical analysis is we calculate the average mile per gallon, that is MPG column for each cylinder category. And we will also see how these functions work together. So basically we'll be making use of notation, something similar to the pipeline operator we call. The pipeline operator is this operator. This particular operator passes output from the function to the next. And this is coming from dplyr package. Right? So we have already the dplyr package installed and loaded. So let me take you to the place where the dplyr package already has been loaded. In case if you are not loading this package, the pipeline operator you cannot use it. The second thing we will do in the categorical analysis is we will be using group by function, right? Group by function. Group by, right? Variable, CYL. Okay. So this particular function splits the data set into groups. The third function we'll be making use of is summarize. Right? Summarize is the function. This function basically calculates the statistics per group. Next, after the kind of statistics we will be calculating is the mean of MPG column. This value we will be using for this is the average miles per gallon for each category of CYL. The last thing is we will be using one more function, one more variable. The variable name is group. And we'll be setting this variable to drop. It kind of removes the grouping. So why are we using this particular variable in this particular analysis will become apparent when we are doing the coding. So here, let me add one code block. So the code block, you can go here and you can select R, otherwise in the visual, there are two ways to add the code block. One is to go here, select R, otherwise you go to insert, executable cell and R. These things you can do. And here you can even remember the shortcut for adding the code block is Option Command I in the Mac. In the Windows, it is Option Control I. So I'm going to the source block here. What I'm going to do is I'm doing summary data. This is a variable. Summary data. I'm assigning data is my actual data, and this data I'm giving to one function The function is group by. Okay, the group by, the data is being passed to group by function. So this group by function works on which column? I need to specify CYL. So how come this CYL how come this group by function gets to know about CYL? Because the data I am passing to the group by function, there is CYL column in the data. So the output of this function group by I am passing to summarize. Summarize. So in this function, I am calculating the first variable a average MPG. Average MPG is equal to mean of MPG. There's a column. Now dot groups is equal to drop. I'm dropping that particular grouping. So the final summary data will be having the cylinders and average miles per gallon for cylinders. So now let me see what will be the output. I'll not be able to see the output because here one comma is missing. That is an error. Again, let me check what is the output. I'm not able to see the output. Again, let me check what is wrong here. Error in data groups is summarized. Groups could not find the function, this function, because we need to load this library. We will load this library first. That is DPL by R. And now we will start this because this particular notation doesn't get recognized if dplyr package is not loaded. So that's why we had got that error. So in case if you are also getting the same error, you execute this line library dplyr. Otherwise, this particular notion pipeline operator will not does not get recognized. So I'm removing this dplyr library because I have already loaded it at the beginning. So I'm not able to see what is the output, the summary data, because the summary data is just holding the value returned by this particular expression. Now, let me see what summary data holds. So summary data, I'm again executing. So here you can see the summary data is something like this. The cylinder is having 3 different values. The average miles per gallon for the cylinder 4 is this one. For cylinder 6 is 19.7. For cylinder 8 is 15.1. Basically, what is happening is there is a column called as MPG. Corresponding to this column, all the values of this MPG column gets averaged wherever the cylinder is 4. And that value is 26.6. And likewise, it gets repeated for cylinder 6 and cylinder 8. That's why we are using cylinder as a grouping variable. So now we have this particular value. This particular value will be used for plotting our graph. So now we can even do the extended summary for this particular data set. So we will now work on the extended summary, step 5, I think. Step 5, extended summary. This is completely optional. So in case if you want to skip this particular step and go to the next step also, it's fine. It's for clarity of the user. In case if you want to know how to further explore this particular data set, you can execute these lines of code. Otherwise, you can safely skip this step and you can go to the next step. So here we can compute additional statistics. So the statistics something similar to. So we can compute something n, right? Number of cars per group. Number of cars per group. So the grouping means 468, that is number of cylinders, right? So number of cars per group, either you can do standard deviation in the sense how much the values are deviating from the standard value. Standard deviation also you can do. So this gives you the standard deviation. deviation. Again, you can even calculate the min. So min, so the minimum value. So min and max, right? Max, min and max. So this gives us the range of values in any column of our. So we will start addressing one by one. So here we will create the summary of this particular data set, what we are doing. This is summary data for optional. In case if you want to use, or if in case if you want to know this, what is the summary of this particular data set which you are dealing with, you can do this. Otherwise, you can safely skip. I'm repeating it again. Here I'm inserting another code block. I'm making one more variable summary data optional. Here data is the first thing we need to load because this will be the input for my function summarize. The summarize here, what I'll calculate is n is equal to number of rows. So this gives me the number of rows in this particular data set. avg underscore mpg, right? Average mpg I can do. So mean of mpg. So the next thing what we can do is minimum of mpg is equal to min of mpg, right? So next thing what I can do is max of mpg is equal to max of mpg. The next thing is dot group is equal to drop. So here the data I am giving as input to the summarize, and I am calculating number of rows in each category. For each category, what is the minimum value of MPG, maximum value of MPG, what is average, and dot groups is equal to drop. Here I have made a small mistake, but let me correct it after showing you the output, what I am getting here. So what I'm supposed to be getting here, let me see the output, because I'm just only assigning the values. I'm trying to show this particular variable what it is holding by pressing this green color button. What I was expecting is I will get a table. I will get a table with 3 rows. Here I've got only 1 row because entire data set I'm feeding to the summarize. And there are 32 rows. The average MPG is this, minimum MPG is this, and the maximum MPG is this. This the summarize function is giving. But what I expected was I want to get the row, 3 rows, one row for the cylinder 4, the second row for cylinder 8, third row for cylinder 6. So I forgot to add grouping variable here. So here let me add group by, right, group by CYL, right? So if I am passing group by CYL to summarize function, the group by CYL will give me 3 different values. One is 4, 6, and 8. For 4, what is the summarize output? For 6 CYL, what is the summarize output? For 8 CYL, what is the summarize output we will get if I run this function? So here you can see CYL is having 3 different values. There are now 11 rows with CYL4, and the average value for MPG is 26. Average minimum value and the maximum value of MPG. Likewise, we have got this particular output. This particular step is just to give you the further insight into the data set and how exploratory you can start analyzing the data set depending on the requirement of the project. So let us go to the next step, that is visualization. How to visualize the bar plot. That is what the main thing of this experiment is, that I'm taking up in the next step. Thank you all for watching this video. See you in the next video.